Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back here with part 3 of my dreams for Asian Union. I'm not sure. I thought there could be a few potential names for such a union. It could either be called the Pan-Asian Union, the M.K.S Pan-Asian Union, or just the M.K.S Union, Asian Union, sorry, or just the Asian Union. I like to put my initials on it, like so that the ideas are mine. If I was like the founder of this organization, but although I wouldn't want any monetary gain, just recognition. Anyway, I normally in September I would strive to focus on in the Indigenous people of the Americas empowerment, but because of the situation between China and Taiwan, I thought, I suppose it would be hard to see this video being spread and the idea being spread, but I really want to share my ideas and thoughts about how, especially like Taiwan, for instance, could leverage, if you like, their position. It's a big word for me, but or utilize or use or whatever their position, basically to say to America and China that instead of going to war over Taiwan, each one could say which one who's going to invest the most into Taiwan. So hopefully it will turn a negative situation in Taiwan into a positive one, because if, as I say, instead of going to war over Taiwan, each country like China and the US would have to talk about what they're going to invest in the country. So hopefully that would encourage instead. So it would be like a 360-degree turn, because I think Taiwan could be in real danger if there's, well, it probably already is in danger if there's war and if nothing changes. So something I think has to change. So I hope this video will spread that idea somehow and benefit Taiwan as well as the rest of Asia. Got to be honest, I would offend America if they heard this one, or Americans. So I do apologize for that one to any Americans, especially those who are very patriotic. But so I hope I won't be too offensive. Not to be too anti-American, but because I want to support Asia and Pan-Asianism, I would love for Taiwan to be more united with China, I suppose, because it's like take the Asian side, and maybe the Asian Union could do that, and it could be an incentive to bring them for countries like China to encourage it. But generally in disputed territories, I'd love for that, as I mentioned in part 1 or 2, I can't remember. I would love for them to be places where they do trade and things like unite together instead of going to war over such issues. Anyway, with that being said, so number 21, I hope again for Asian nations to come together. Just to recap some of the ideas, I'll say 21 again, I often say, but also for the Asian Union, if and when it gets set up, to come together to celebrate Asia's history and to look at like countries that were like Vietnam or even more recently Iraq, or countries historically like India that were colonized. I'm sure most of Asia was probably colonized at some point, and to use that instead to like sort of remind each other of why unity is so important, what they can achieve together, and that they have a lot in common, and that sort of thing. So hopefully they will reverse that sort of imperialism and come together as anti-imperialists to again celebrate each other's history and to come together more. 22, I hope that will contribute to a lot of people talk about, or at least a few people talk about, the 21st century being Asia's century or whatever, and the future being Asian, or as I think his name's Pranag Chana or something like that, from India. I think he's from India, and he said that the future is Asian, and even Jeff Bezos was saying about how India is a large part of the future future growth. So if Asian nations can avoid conflict, I think they can trade their way out of trouble and do really well, grow their economies and things like that. And I think that by coming together and avoiding conflicts with each other, hopefully they can help Asian economies to grow even more, even faster, and do even better, basically, even more quickly. I'll say faster, more quickly, whatever, and even better, and for longer as well, hopefully, as part of that. But I suppose India has a difficult balancing act with like not offending America, and so I hope they'll be able to balance that and and still get on well with America. As Jeff Bezos also said, the partnership between India and America could be, or he said will be the world's oldest democracy or something like that, or I think he said, or the world's biggest democracy, and I think he said America is the world's oldest democracy or something like that, and obviously India is the world's biggest democracy. So he said they've got a great partnership opportunity, and even though I hope Asian nations will unite together, I hope India can still network with other countries outside of Asia as well. Anyway, I've probably gone way off topic, but 23, or way off track. 23, I hope to tackle poverty across Asia, and again, the Asian Union could tackle poverty as well as producing human rights. I hope they'll do so, as I say, in a libertarian way, as I mentioned before, without having socialism or communism, if I'm honest. Again, sorry for any socialists or communists who might come across these videos. Obviously, these are just my personal opinion, but yeah, I hope they can do so in a free choice way, free market way, and trade their way out of trouble, but also help, I suppose, real trickle down economics. I know people might say that doesn't work, but I hope they'll find a way to do so, as well as have animal rights and again promote peace and development and things like that, and trade between each other, and look at ways they can help Asian nations trade with the rest of the world, outside of Asia, of course, with other continents and countries and that sort of thing. Number 24, I hope for as many Asian nations as possible, preferably all of them, to come together and maybe like to promote, as I say, human rights, mainly libertarianism, possibly even democracy, but especially libertarianism, and things like that. But yeah, as many Asian nations as possible to come together across Asia, and again, Central Asia especially, to facilitate that dialogue between all the Asian nations. 25, I hope to promote republicanism, and for Asian nations as well as African nations to promote republican events where they invite each other, and especially the republics of Asia and also the republics outside of Asia, to come to Asia to promote republicanism. If I'm honest, I suppose I'm a bit biased because I am a Republican supporter as part of my anti-imperialism. When I say republicanism, I mean republics, not like American republics, not necessarily American republicanism, but I mean not the political party, but I mean republics generally. And I'd love to support political parties that do support republics. Just to clarify. Number 26, I think it'd be great if they could lobby together to get any money back which they had taken from them, like India could lobby for its case, working with other Asian nations to talk about apparently it's $45 trillion that was taken out of America, out of India by the UK, looted, as many might call it, I suppose, arguably. And I don't know where they got that figure from, but apparently it's 45 trillion, but that does seem an awful lot, considering there's probably not a massive amount more than that in the world. Although a lot of that was in terms of assets and things like that, rather than how much physical paper money there is in the world, I suppose. But yeah, I would take any aid money that the UK gave to India. I think they should take that into equation and take that away from the figure that I believe they owe India, in my opinion. But also, if for instance China does help India with that claim, then China can also say India should help them with their claims for things like whatever compensation, if they were for like having Hong Kong annexed and being divided and being colonized, and war, like the Opium War and things like that, so they can put forward each other's arguments of work again stronger, as I often say, hashtag stronger together. So I hope all Asian nations like Vietnam and Iraq and all the other Asian nations will be reparated for what was taken out of their accounts, or out of their economy, sorry. 27, I hope there will there'll be honours for those who have contributed the most to India through things like YouTube videos and a Walk of Fame and Hall of Fame and a Wall of Fame for those who have contributed to Asia, like who have contributed to peace, unity, Pan-Asianism and things like that across Asia. Obviously, Pan-Asianism is unity because it's about bringing all of Asia together. Number 28, again, I hope they'll turn negative situations into positives, like the situation with Taiwan, how they can turn that into a positive from a negative. Number 29, I hope for my fellow half Asians or part Asians like myself to support Asian nations as much as possible as well. And like, even lobby for a part of our taxes to go towards Asia, as well as the diaspora generally. Number 30, as ever, I would love to hear your views and feedback. And I'm out. Peace and love.